whether you're 19, 30, 50, 60, or 70, if you still got the energy, if you still got the desire, the want, the determination, the will, you can't let anything break you. You can't. The first thing you need to do is cut negative people out of your mind. All right, get them out of your life. If they tell you you can't do it, why? Because you can't. So don't listen to negativity. She was the one that told me you need to stop working these hard jobs because you're not going to be 32 forever or 33. You're going to be 60 one day. Are you going to be, using the shovel, the pick, and all that? No, you're not. So you need to do something else. So you need to go to school.
Laz, let me know if this is correct. I think from what you've told me that you came to the US as a migrant, I think is the term they use in the US, from Cuba originally, I believe.
Yes.
And you mentioned something about you were raised by your aunt. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you were working like in really tough jobs like security and construction and stuff like that. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, the takeaway there is no one has an excuse. So can you just confirm a little bit about yourself, your background, that people realize that you didn't have a trust fund and go to Harvard or something like that? And then let's just transition to the future, because you've told me some really exciting news. Can you tell me about what your plans are?
Yes. Very exciting news. I can't wait, really.
Yep.
Next year, like around February or March, we're going to take this on a world tour.
Wow, brilliant.
We're going to visit different countries. All right. We're going to stay there for, let's say, 2-3 months. And I'm going to teach over there. I'm going to hold boot camps. I'll still be doing my online stuff. But we want a better quality of life, obviously, as a family. And so we're going to travel. But at the same time, I have students all around the world. So I'm going to let everybody know, hey, listen, I'm going to be in England. I'm going to be in Japan. I'm going to be in Ireland. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there. And just visit and
wow.
take my job, if you want to call it. I don't consider this a job. I love what I do.
Yeah.
Because it's very rewarding that, because because people told me, Laz, come over when you come to Japan. And I'm saying, I'm Cuban. That's my nationality.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm Cuban. I came in 1973. I met another Cuban online. I was 6 years old when I got here.
Wow.
I met another Cuban, but he lives in, I don't know if I'm saying the wrong country. I think it's Finland. And I go, how did you get over there? What are you doing over there? And he just told me, no, I came over here, the cost of living, this and that. My family's over here, but he's working over there. So I got students all around. He goes, Laz, when you come over here, let me know and we'll show you around. I have students that I met on Udemy Live last year that when we went to San Francisco, we actually went out to dinner one night, and they actually have an apartment in Germany. And so I said, when you come to Germany, let us know, and we'll show you around this and that. So me and my wife were thinking, you know what? All we need is an internet connection.
Yep.
Let's do it. And I'm like, hey, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Let's go for it. That's what I want to do. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully next year is have our world tour.
Just let me know when you come to England. We should do this like face to face as well. Just have a chat. Definitely get together.
I would love to. I would love to definitely. Listen, you kept stopping me in Udemy Live. All right. But I'm not going to stop because you've been around for a long time. You actually teach instructors on GNS3. I give you major props. And meeting you at Udemy Live, actually sitting down and talking to you, and then you actually took time out to help me to, fix my issue with the GNS3 similar. I mean, I was thrown back.
It's my pleasure, man.
Hey, and that's what I think that's what we're sitting here saying. It's about not competition. It's sharing knowledge.
Exactly.
Everybody has a different teaching methodology.
Yep.
Some people like me, some people like you. Some people can't stand me.
Same here. They tell me I should be exciting like you.
No, listen. If people have your courses, they have my courses, because I tell people, one of the things I tell people when I was in the actual classroom, I said, I think I told you this over there. Active Directory.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I said, this is the course. This is the book that the school is giving you.
Yeah.
And this is the book that I bought in a bookstore.
Yep.
It's a big difference, isn't it? Active Directory is a monster. So you think that this little tiny book is going to get you ready for Active Directory? No. All right. And when you get out there into the field, what do you think? That one person handles Active Directory? Maybe you work in a small company, but if you work in an enterprise, that's completely, totally different. Everybody's going to be a different administrator for a certain portion of that. So do not think that you have to learn everything at one time. Get your certs. All right. Learn as you go and practice. Unfortunately, for Microsoft, your simulators, whatever, they do have certain things, but it's best just to get the operating system. You can download it for free for 90 days, play with it, 12 hours a day, do whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? I was lucky enough to be with actual routers when I was teaching. Okay. But if not, packet tracer to death. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Agreed.
what it's there for. And it's
Yep.
free now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just go to the Cisco Net Academy and just do for that free whatever course, and you can download it for free. So practice. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this as long as they have the passion and desire and the will to move on. And obviously you have, because you're also extremely successful on YouTube, on GNS3, on Udemy, on all your e-learning platforms that you belong to. And yeah, meeting you was like, whoa, I was starstruck. You know what I mean?
You're too kind. Like, you're too kind. I met the famous Laz. You're too kind.
It's true. And then if I once I get to England, you can believe it, I'm gonna be looking you up.
That'd be great.
Say, dude, I'm here. Tell me where to go.
I'll take you on. Yeah, definitely.
And we'll definitely do this, face to face. I would love it.
So I mean, I think I've mentioned already. The big takeaway was that you were determined and that you got your family. You had your family support. And you never gave up, but you're a big believer in goal setting and getting things done. Can you share any sort of tips and tricks about like just life management? Because you obviously manage your body really well. You do a lot of gym. You look after yourself physically, but you're doing all this extra stuff as well. So just for someone who's sort of new to networking or just young in life, or it doesn't matter about young in life, what kind of tips about success and like what do you do to any tips that you have?
Well, honestly, just like you said, I was lucky. I was blessed to meet the woman who's who actually pushed me forward. And that's what you need. The first thing you need to do is cut negative people out of your mind.
Yeah.
All right. Get them out of your life. If they tell you you can't do it, why? Because you can't. So don't listen to negativity. And I'm also, I listen because when I started doing weight training, I'm a very visual person, and I listen to very weird music to get me motivated. I'm into the warrior mentality.
Yeah.
So I listen to motivational speakers.
Yeah.
Les Brown is one of them. Tony Robbins is another one. Norman Vincent Peale, way back then. Okay. Zig Ziglar. All these people, I listen to their tapes, not their tapes, or on YouTube. I listen to them constantly, and even at one point in my website, my actual website, I had Les Brown on there. It's a 36-minute video because he went through struggles just like anybody else. So I listened to all these motivational speakers, and I did what they told me. I cut up the negative people out of my life. Tony Robbins talks about segmenting. He says, this is your day. These are your responsibilities. Okay. So take a couple hours a day, say, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to do a little bit of this. So I set certain goals. One of the things that Les Brown says, if you do things inch by inch, is a cinch. But by the yard is hard. Yeah. What does that mean? Just do a little bit at a time. You don't got, I didn't just sit down, take the Cisco Press book, put it down and say, I'm going to read the whole book today. No, but a chapter a week, a chapter a day, whatever you can. But every day do something to move forward. And definitely don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. And that was another lesson that we learned, because this is now not me. This is my wife was in real estate. She put all her eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And in 2008, boom. And that's what we counted on. And yeah. So once I started teaching and I started doing things, and finally when I got online, things started changing and things started becoming more positive. But yeah, you can never give up. You can never surrender, because if you don't program yourself, if you don't teach yourself, say, okay, stop being so negative, Laz. Stop listening to that inner voice that says you can't do it. Okay? You have all these comments, you have all these things, you have people that are counting on you. You have a vision of what you want to do, you can do it. So I have to talk to myself. I literally talk to myself. You might think I'm crazy in the car, I don't care.
No, that's
but
fine.
I talk to myself. I'm like, all right, when I'm going to the gym, I'm focused. I'm in the gym, I'm a warrior, I'm going to do battle. I'm in here to do what I need to do. When I'm doing desktop recording, then I'm doing desktop recording. If I'm focused on what I'm doing, and you got to forget about everything else. Take the negative people out of your life and then set little goals every day to achieve and connect who you need to connect to. All right. And you will get there. I'm not going to say it's overnight. And listen, I'm sure it's the same saying, I think, in the UK and across the world. Murphy, you know who Murphy is, right?
Murphy's Law you're talking about.
Exactly. Murphy's Law. Murphy, life. If you don't program yourself, life will program for you. If you don't get up and start doing something, it's not easy.
Yep.
It was never easy. And things happen. My stepson, he's handicapped. He's mentally challenged. He's autistic.
That's tough.
Okay? It's tough. My daughter, she's going through struggles herself back in Miami. My stepdaughter, she lives with us, with her mom, and she's now learned how to do editing and stuff like that, because she never knew anything about computers before, but she learned. So everybody has a different challenge in life.
Yep.
You just can't surrender. There is no retreat, just like in the movie 300. There's no surrender. There's no retreat. Okay? You do what you need to do. There's no excuses. Zero.
Yep.
Whether you don't sleep. Don't sleep. There's another motivational speaker where he says, how bad you want it. If you YouTube that, how bad you want it, he'll come out. Okay? And he tells a story. He goes that this guru put this kid, his head up, just long story short, put the kid under the water until he was almost drowning. And the kid comes up. He goes, how bad did you want it to breathe? Oh, really bad. I thought I was going to drown. I had a breath I needed to breathe. He goes, well, when you want something as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll get it.
Yeah.
And that's true. You know what I mean? Because he had to do whatever he had to do to get that breath of fresh air, right? Because he was drowning. So this is the same thing for life. Whether you're 19, 30, 50, 60, or 70, if you still got the energy, if you still got the desire, the want, the determination, the will, you can't let anything break you. You can't, because it's out there. Every negative thing in my I till today, I still get like, what? It's like, how can you say until today in certain industries that I've tried to break into, people have, since I didn't know, have taken advantage of me. And I'm like, That's fine. That's okay. That's a lesson learned. And that's how I look at it. It's not that I'm dumb. It's not that I didn't know. I just didn't know. It's a learning curve.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then you just gotta keep going forward. I will never give up. And I will always, forever, be getting certified or learning new things. Period.
So one of your tips is that you do like 3 goals every day. Is that what you said earlier?
3 goals, at least 3 things a day, and they're not the same thing. Like I said, okay, if I'm doing a course, I'm going to film these many lectures today. Okay, now I gotta do, let's say, because I belong to a lot of different e-learning platforms, and I have different contacts. I do different things, so I try to work on something different every day, right? To make sure, like the book that I'm writing, the CCNA Complete, right, that I'm writing for this company in London. I said, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write this chapter or part of this chapter today, so I can meet my deadline, because I have deadlines that I need to meet. Because people think, oh, Laz already made it. Laz is just sitting back and letting the money roll in. No. No, I'm not. Okay, it's more work now. It's more work now. Do I have the freedom? Yes.
Yeah.
I can say, you know what? I don't have a Saturday, I don't have a Sunday or a Monday or Tuesday. To me, Monday is my weekend or Tuesday is my weekend. Or I tell the family, I say, you know what? From, let's take the morning off and let's go to Disney and then we'll work the evening.
Yeah.
So we have that flexibility.
Yeah.
But every day I do something, but I do set my goals. Okay, I did, I did this course, BIGRP. I'm not done with it yet. Okay, I did enough of it. Okay, now I'm gonna write for the chapter. Okay, I met that goal. Okay, now let me go ahead and do like I'm doing now, video solutions. And they're on my YouTube channel. So I'm doing video solutions. Okay, video solutions. Let me see which ones I'm gonna do. And then I segment myself, just like in a network. Segmenting is crucial, right?
Yep.
Creating VLANs and all these different things. So you don't have all that noise. So it's the same thing in life. You got to segment your life. You got to say, okay, and I also create family time. In the evening, before I pass out, my stepdaughter got me into watching all these series, right? So now I'm into Blue Bloods and I'm into all these different shows. I'm watching now, it's about vampires and stuff like that. It's called Supernatural. So I watch at least, one episode, and because I literally pass out on the sofa and they wake me up and they put me to bed. But I do that. So we spend family time. You just got to segment your life. And you said one crucial thing, because in that video that you have on YouTube, we all have 24 hours in a day. What you do with those 24 hours is up to you.
Yep.
So what do people do when they come home from work? And I did this. I never did anything to better myself. I complained, but I never did anything to better myself. This was before 1999. Okay. I will get home from work and I will sit down and watch TV. I didn't pick up a book. I didn't do anything to better myself. I sat down and watched TV. Woke up the next day, went to the gym, went to work, complain. Not until I had somebody guide me, slap me in the back of the head and said, go to school, learn something. I'm like, okay. And then when I was there, I was like, whoa. And I didn't know. And this was what I was meant to do. I just never saw it for myself. And then when I actually was doing it, okay, and I saw that I enjoyed it. I'm like, man, yes. And that's the key, I think. The key is you got to enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
There's people every day. There's people every day waking up, they're getting heart attacks. Oh, I can't believe I got to see this guy again at work. Then do something about it.
Yep.
Stop complaining. All right, you go home, don't watch TV. All right, go read a book. Go to the internet. You're on the internet anyway. But wait a minute, you're on Facebook, aren't you? You're playing games online. Yeah, or MySpace back in the day. You're doing all these different things. So stop doing that and use the internet to your advantage. And that's, if I would have had the internet back then, which it did exist, I didn't know about it. Okay, I could have been where I'm at now much sooner. But again, I listened to those negative people. Listen, and again, it's not really negative because in the sociology class, I learned something. And you learn something from everybody throughout life. You always learn a lesson.
Yeah.
But you got to be listening for it. That professor said, we mimic our parents. And that's what I did.
Yeah, it's true.
I mimic my dad. He eventually, he went from construction worker, hard labor, to getting to politics, and he did TV shows. He's now on TV in South Florida and all that. My mom working 2 jobs or she's really my aunt. I call her my mom because she raised me, but she worked 2 jobs for 42 years. You know what I mean? 42 years, this woman worked 2 jobs, 9 to 5, and she instilled that work ethic in me, and that's what I had. So what did I do? I went to work. That's all I knew. I had to go to work, whether it was 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 17 hours a day. You got people coming in from other countries. I saw a documentary on the lost boys in Africa. All right, they have like this lottery that they win and they come over to the United States. And they asked them, how long are you going to work? Well, at least 17 hours a day. And they were like, what? No. The American dream, you work 8 hours a day, you go home, you have fun. But the thing is, those days are gone.
Yep.
The days of working a job for 30 years, and you could do that, you can work your job 30 years. You're not gonna get a gold watch when you're at the end. They're gonna say goodbye. All right, you put in your hard work in there, and it's like, really, it's over. Now what? No, now what? Nothing. You gotta continuously, every single day, whether you have a job or not, is educate yourself. And that doesn't mean going to a college and spending $60,000. Because I see kids going to major universities and working at Starbucks. Okay, I see kids going to technical institutions. I've had guys in my classroom in the technical school that I worked at weren't certified, or they got their certification, they got their paper MCSE as we call it. Okay, and they went and got a job, and then they didn't last a week.
Yeah.
Because they were just paper. And that's why I'm glad that today employers are changing their trend, and they are looking. Now the IT administrator is looking at you. They are sitting you down. They are talking to you. They are throwing ideas back and forth. They're doing several interviews, because it's funny. And I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. A company that didn't hire me when I was out of school, I was certified, but they didn't hire me in IT. They gave me a job in the mailroom. Last year, I went back to the same company. They called me. They reached out to me.
That's
said,
funny.
listen, we have a voice. We're running. We need somebody here to show the. It wasn't no major voice setting up or anything. It was just showing people Cisco phones and what have you. But they called me, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, and I remembered, you told me 20 years ago that I wasn't qual. Now you're calling me because, okay, what changed? Okay, I got more education, I got more experience, but I was still the same passionate guy back then that I am now. I still had the same desire that I had back then now. So, and I came full circle. When I was walking into that company, I was like, and guess what? I got to see the person that I was working with in that mailroom 20 years prior. She was still there. I said, do you remember me? Because she told me, because she put me in the manual machine. She said, no, you'll probably take you a couple months to get to the automated machines in the mailroom. And I'm like, okay. It took me a week, and I was ready on the other side. But I wanted IT, and there was a guy in there. He goes, you're never going to get an IT job here. I'm also, I have my certification as well, because here they hire people that are family. And I'm like, wow. So I tried my very best. And I even went up to HR and I told them, because I'm a very in-your-face type of guy. And I think really one of the things that people, when I went to look for interviews, that one of my main issues, I guess I was a little bit too aggressive. And I tell guys, be humble, be open, share your knowledge, but be careful, because, watch your step, because if you start knowing more than the guys in front of you, depending on where you go, they're going to feel threatened and they're not going to hire you. So it's kind of a whatever. But again, I went to the HR department. I told them, have you seen my resume? Have you sat me down? You talked to me? Because when I would talk to IT administrators back then, I have no fear. Okay. Even though when I went to teach, that's a different story. I was there in front of an audience before.
That's tough.
It's tough, and transitioning from a classroom to a camera is also tough.
It is.
So I was like, oh, wow. Oh, I made mistakes like you wouldn't believe. But I had the support of my wife. She goes, not do it again. Not do it again. I'm like, okay. So, but and I kept going. But it's just sticking to it and putting goals, tips and tricks. Again, you have the internet, YouTube. They already know you. They already know me. I've mentioned Chris Bryant, and we've mentioned Udemy. We've mentioned all these different e-learning. There's Neil. You know Neil. You have to know Neil. He's out there too. There's a bunch of wonderful, knowledgeable instructors that want to give their stuff for free on their YouTube channel. Okay, GNS3 and Udemy. Their courses are so inexpensive. All right, they're there. We're willing to share information, and I can. If I had this back then, it would have been I would have been here a lot sooner. I would have been right there with you. Okay, because wherever I go, no matter what I do, no matter where you're at, and I learned you got to do the best with what you have at the time and what you have. With what you have, where you're at, with what you have at that time. Point. You got to do your best. And in the switch that I worked at, there was a kid there, And he went from a guy that worked in one of those, when you go buy your phone, one of a retail store.
Yes.
Okay. All the way to becoming, well, he then went in, he transitioned from a retail store to IT help desk, right? Then he went into further into IT administration, all right? Then they took him out of that into the switch, and he became a top guy in the switch. And when Metro transitioned to T-Mobile, he became one of the top guys in T-Mobile.
Wow.
Why? Because he never stopped learning. He said, okay, and now I'm doing this. Oh yeah, and he's from London as well. How about that? Where was he? If I can only remember when he told me where he was, but he was from London. His mom was from London. His dad was from Jamaica. I think that's the combination. I think I got that right. But the bottom line is that he said, okay, I'm going to adapt with the company. He wants that job. He doesn't mind working triple shifts 3 days in a row, because in telecommunications, if something goes down, you got people out there with their cell phones not working. Nobody's going home until everything's back up again.
Yeah.
It's not like just turning on a router or just turning on, changing a configuration on DNS or anything like that. It's completely different equipment that you got to deal with. All right. That it takes long for them to boot up. These troubleshooting problems. Me, when I was there, the longest problem was maybe 6 hours. He told me a story that he stayed, they were there almost for 3 days trying to solve an issue, and nobody went home for 3 days.
Wow.
2.5 days. Okay. So, but he likes that he showed me his desire. And that's why I learned so quickly with them, because it was a very united front, a united group that we were able to learn. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what I do. Basically, like you said, goals, 3 things to do differently every day. Stay motivated, stay learning, and just get the negative people out of your life. Anybody that talks negative, I don't like you. When I don't look you in the eye, I'm like, oh, okay. And that I don't reply.
Yeah.
If I do that, I just don't like it.
So, Laz, let me know if this is correct. I think from what you've told me that you came to the US as a migrant, I think is the term they use in the US, from Cuba originally, I believe.
Yes.
And you mentioned something about you were raised by your aunt. Is that right?
That's
and
correct.
you were working like in really tough jobs like security and construction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, the takeaway there is no one has an excuse. So can you just confirm a little bit about yourself, your background, that people realize that you didn't have a trust fund and go to Harvard or something like that?
No, not at all. No, when I came from Cuba, I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
All right. I went through the school system here. My mom, or my aunt, but I call her my mom. She raised me since I was, 6 or younger, really, since Cuba. She worked 2 jobs to try and maintain the house. Okay. I, at the age of 16, worked at Burger King.
Wow.
Okay. And I gave her my entire paycheck to help her out. Throughout high school, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade here in the U.S., I worked at Burger King. Night shifts, summers, I worked one day from 5 in the morning to the next day at 5 in the morning when it's the summer. I didn't care because we needed the money. There's no trust fund here. It was my mom's hard work, okay, that kept us afloat. Me working. When I started graduating high school, I did join the service because I didn't believe in college. I'm not going to study. I hated school. I didn't want to study. I don't want to do nothing. So I went into the service. I got out. Once I got out, well, what now? I have no idea. So I went back to what I knew. Let me get a job. All right. So I started surveying the guys on the street, measuring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kept doing different, hardworking jobs. And then, warehousing. I mean, believe it or not, I liked it, but it didn't get me anywhere. I wasn't going anywhere there.
Yeah.
There was a glass ceiling. There was a very low glass ceiling there. I wasn't going anywhere there, but I enjoyed it. I was good at it, but I never saw myself beyond that. I limited my vision of myself. And it wasn't until 1999, I'm telling you. It was April 12th, 1999, where I met my wife. where she's, and it was instant. Okay. And this is my second marriage, just so you know. That I met her, I was like, whoa, I was taken back. We got married within 5 months.
Wow.
We got married September 10th of that same year. And we have never been separated since April 12th. Since April 12th, we've never been separated.
It's amazing.
But she was the one that told me, you need to stop working these hard jobs because you're not going to be 32 forever, or 33. You're going to be 60 one day. Are you going to be, using the shovel, the pick, and all that? No, you're not. So you need to do something else. So you need to go to school. She was the one that told me to do that. She put her faith in me. So my parents, they worked for a living. They all worked. We don't come from a rich family. I don't come from a rich family at all. They're hard-working people.
Yeah.
All right. My sisters, I have a younger sister and an older sister. They went to college. Okay. And they moved away. They did their life. My little sister's married to a man who's a pilot, and she lives her life. My older sister has her life. So I come from a very humble beginning. And again, I transitioned, like I said, high school, the service, got out. I went ahead and got jobs here, there, wherever I can get jobs to make more and more money. One time I was working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. When I met my current wife, I was working the surveying job, and they actually, I knew they were going to let me go, and I transferred with the boss because he liked me because of what you're saying. Because I told him, hey, give me a book so I can learn about GPS. GPS surveying was coming out at that point, but I wanted to learn about it. So I told him a book. So he liked the fact that I wanted to learn about it. So he took me with him to another job site, which was a construction site, to do surveying at a construction site. And that was brand new there as well. But because of him teaching me, I excelled in that. And I told my wife, and that right there, that's the crucial moment right there. When that company lost the contract, the other company was going to hire me and said they were going to pay me $2 more. And I told her, I got excited. I said, babe, I'm going to get paid $2 more. This other company's going to hire me. Should I take it? She goes, no, you're going to go ahead and tell them that you quit and you're going to go to school.
Wow.
I was scared to death. I was like, are you sure? She goes, yes, I'm going to work and you're going to go to school. I'm like, okay. And that's how it all began. And believe me, we went through struggles. There were times there where I didn't know what we were going to do. We're literally getting the little piggy bank and breaking it open, counting our pennies or nickels and dimes to make, to buy food, to do this, to do that. And she was working long hours and just to make ends meet. And we were lucky enough and we had the tenacity to keep going. And here I am now. Not that I'm not working just as hard now, but just a different kind of work. Now I use this.
Yep.
This I save for the gym, right? This is for what I'm doing now. And I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to meet people like yourself, Neil, Chris Bryant, be on Udemy, be on different e-learning platforms. Companies tell me, hey, we want you to write a book. You know who said for me to write an IP book? It wasn't me. It was her, because I'm known for IP.
Yeah.
That's what I'm known for. That's my most famous video on YouTube, which is the nastiest thing in the world. It was when we first started, was a nasty webcam. It was all moving. It was just nasty. But the information is correct, and it was easy. So I was known for that. So my wife goes, let's put a book together. I'm like, yeah, you want me to write a book? And so I started writing. She was doing the checking the grammar. She got like 5 different people from all over the place to put the book together so we can put it on Amazon and sell it. And that was the first time that I ever wrote a book. And now an actual company is coming to me because they want me to write a book for them. I would never, but it's doable. It's possible because I never imagined that I would do this. Okay. But again, you take away the people. I don't have a trust fund. I never had, nobody said, hey, Laz, here's $50,000. Go ahead. Nobody ever did that to me. As a matter of fact, they've taken money from me.
Yeah.
They've taken money from me. I'm like, wow. Even now, okay, when I've invested in different, opportunities, they've let me down. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, okay, whatever. Lesson learned, and keep going. So no, I don't come from a background that's of money at all. I come with people that work, 9 to 5s, or my mom never knew what a vacation was. Never in her life. Uh, she didn't start going out on vacations until, when I got divorced in my first marriage. Uh, we actually started going on the weekends with my daughter and stuff to, Naples, Disney, stuff like that. My mom took her vacation, her 2 weeks or whatever, to take care of her parents.
Wow.
That was her vacation. All right. So it was me and her going to doctor's appointments, going here, going there, doing all these different things. That's what she did. So that's the background that I come from. So it built who I am. It gave me work ethics, and the service gave me discipline, and gave me the motivation. And me, listen, I'm a nut. I watch 300. I watch uh, Braveheart.
Yeah.
I watch all these different types of movies that just talk about never giving up, never surrendering, fight to, I don't wave the white flag. I will die, still trying to teach. No, the subliminal aspects this, what I mean? So whatever it is, I'm gonna keep going because I really enjoy what I do. I have fun doing it. And the day I stop having fun, I won't do it. Because if you gotta force yourself to do something, you're gonna do it wrong.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it wrong. And she knows it. She knows it when I get in front of the camera. She goes, just stop. Just stop. It's not you. Just stop. Because I'm like, okay. Because she knows it's, my attitude doesn't come forward. But that's why, because people on LinkedIn and on Udemy and everybody said, no, should we use PowerPoints, not PowerPoint? I never did PowerPoints before. I started doing PowerPoints now just so I can go ahead and get to keep myself on track. Because I have a tendency to sometimes go off on a tangent. So I have to keep myself on track. But one of the things that I've learned when I was in the actual colleges teaching was that some teachers, some people, professors, whatever you want to call them, don't really know how to use PowerPoint in the sense that it's just a tool for you to look at, just to guide you, not to read from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what people don't understand. And some people do that. And what really I'm telling you, I faced so many obstacles, Dave, that you wouldn't believe. Right in the school where I was at, I don't know how I didn't get fired. I'll tell you this right off the bat. Okay, my classroom was my world, and I said, you know what? All right, these kids want to learn how to network. Not a problem. I went. I looked for a company. I brought in a rack. I brought in a patch panel. The switches, I put it on the rack. The routers, I put them on the rack. That the servers on their seats, so I couldn't put them on the rack. But I made the school buy Cat5 cabling, and they gave the students networking kits like crimpers and toners and things like that. So I made the school buy the stuff, and when I knew I had a networking Cisco or Network Plus, whatever it was, because the Cisco and colleges are broken up into 4 parts. I would take the seats out. So when the students would come in, they couldn't sit down. I said, you didn't come here to sit down. You came here to work. This is IT. You're on the network. I would pull out all the cables. So I showed them how to run cabling. I would literally go on the ceiling and pop the tiles out and show them. You see this type of cabling? Yeah, this is not the way it's done. All right, because you got to do 90-degree turn. The standards, right? And I actually made them run cable from their computer to the patch panel, punch it in. And when they would actually network the whole classroom, their thing was kids, kids, they're into gaming and stuff like that. So they have all these things for gaming. And back then it was Call of Duty or Halo. So they will bring in these games. So let's put them in the computers. And then now you network the classroom and then we'll play. So the last 30 minutes of the class was playing games. So they came in, they networked, they did everything they had to do. And now the thing is, so we made it into a game.
That's amazing.
And I got the instructor next to me to do the same thing. So we're networking wired and wireless, and we're gaming wireless and wired. It was awesome. But guess what happened to me though? When I was showing how I was putting the cables back, because I was told, hey Laz, you can't have the ceiling tiles like this. So I was putting things back. I fell off the ladder. That's when my running career ended. Yeah. My knee, my femur, and my tibia, right? The lower part, that's what it's called. They just came apart, just like that. I broke all the ligaments in my knee, and I have 2 screws and cadaver ligaments surrounding my knee. Didn't stop me though. I was back in the classroom 3 months later, 4 months later. I was back in, and I was back in the gym. I took my students with me to the gym. My students followed me to the gym. They went with me to the track. They did all these things with me. I had this one kid who stayed with me the whole time, day and night. And he became the IT administrator for that campus. Because they asked me, hey, Laz, do you have a candidate for it? I said, yes, I do. And I recommended him. And he got an IT administration job. So he learned, after he got hired, not only that he knew how to network and cable and all that stuff, but he learned voice on top of that, because I said he had to set up IP phones. So the call manager, all these different things, he learned it as he was studying it, as he was working there. So it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. But no, man, I had incidents in the school, because people, the instructors who were working there had masters, had PhDs, they had papers and all that. One guy, I think I told you, says, I went to call him by his name. He said, doctor.
Yeah, I love it when they do that.
I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, me and this guy are not going to get along at all. And I had one individual, because in those career colleges, they have different things that they teach. One thing they taught was medical. And I had an actual doctor. Okay, first of all, what's a doctor doing teaching at a career college? That's number one. You should be teaching at a university, not at a career college. That's one. She goes to me, I don't understand, Laz. How are you able to communicate with your students if you don't have a master's degree? I just looked at her. Wow. I was like, it would have been a cartoon. My eyes would have bugged out, because it was like, really? What do you mean? By talking to them, by speaking, communicating. What? I need a degree to tell me how I need to communicate to people? No. All right. It's just two adults talking to each other, because I don't see the students, because people get a chip on their shoulder, and you take that chip off. And yeah, there's a line, but you need to develop that rapport. Yeah. Because when I do boot camps and I'm live, it could be for 4 hours, for 8 hours. I don't care. I can talk all day. Okay. I want people to talk back to me. Say, hey, Laz, how is this though? Why is this? Can you tell me that? I want to interact. Yeah. That's just human interaction. I don't need a degree to have human interaction. So that's one of the kind of things that they hated it, because I was a team leader at one point. I lasted, I think, 3 months as a team leader in that school, because the instructors complained that I didn't have a master's. How can I be a team leader? Man. Even though I won 3 years in a row, I won the instructor of the year. And then they started doing a round robin. He goes, Laz, you can't win it every year. So, okay. So it's not my fault if the students vote for me. They started now going around, different instructors would get it. And I'm like, I don't want to be part of it.
It's crazy.
I don't want to be part of it, because I don't want. So, no, if I earned it, I want it. If I didn't earn it, I don't want it. Don't just give it to me just because. I don't want, but they always wanted me there, because I was always the one, since I never left the school, I've always stayed from morning till night in the school. In the afternoons, there's no classes, but there were students coming in. And I'll say, hey, wait, what are you doing? What are you learning? Because I will teach medical students applications, Excel, whatever. So if I will see them there sitting around, hey, you want to go in the classroom? You want to do some stuff? Like, okay. So they will come in the classroom with me and we'll do stuff. And then, oh, you can do this, you can do that. Yeah, look how cool. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll do it. And they like that about me. Yeah. I had medical students coming up to me, telling me their complaints. I was the psychologist of the school, but I loved it though. I loved it, because teaching has been my freedom, has been now my platform where I can see, man, there is no glass ceiling. Because from this, again, just to tell you future things that I want to do, you already know about the tour around the world, right? The world tour. I want to be a motivational evangelist.
You're good at it. You're good at it.
Well, I like it. And I mean, I need to get better at it, obviously, and how to speak and, have my thoughts carried across in a more logical sense. And I still need to learn. I'm very rough around the edges, but I want to do that. I want to motivate people, because if I did it, dude, the first time somebody told me, I said I was 32, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I started in 1999, when I went to school, all right, the internet existed, okay? I didn't know what Yahoo was. When somebody said Yahoo to me, I said, Yahoo? I swear to you, Dave, this is not a lie. I said, that's what, in cowboys, right? Cowboy movies, Yahoo! That's what I didn't know. HTML, what? I had no idea. I told you about the floppy cable. I thought, what a cheap company. They gave me a broken cable. Until I found out that was a twist, right? The A and B. But again, I came from zero, nothing, zero. And look at me now.
Yep.
I'm not saying that I'm the most successful, okay? But I reinvented myself.
Yep.
I went from a laborer that didn't know anything. I've worked with computers, click here. I used a pen-based computer for surveying, but I never, ever, I would have imagined configuring a server or much less a router. Getting to a router. Oh, no, Cisco routing. Ooh, IPs. What is that? It's like, no. And listen, I'll be honest with you. When IPv6 first came out, I was like, I'm never going to learn this. I'm like, what in the world is this thing? I was so, but I stuck to it. And I forced myself to learn it. It was painful, but I learned it, and then I just kept adapting. I made it better. So I made it easier, and that's what I'm known for is IP, because I don't do the physics. Everybody does the physics. I don't do the physics. I do it in my hands. So, and this is how you do it. This is all you need. Done. It's not rocket science. That's it. And, the scenarios that they put you in for your CCIE with IPs and all this, this guy was putting letters and stuff and plus signs. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Like, what is this? And like, you don't, very little that you need to use it. A very small percentage of companies out there. If you want to get the jobs, because there are people right now that are looking for people who are certified, let's say in voice, or you can combine certifications like Security Plus, CCNA. If you get these contract jobs, they pay top dollar, and I'm talking about 6 figures. If you go out of country, if you stay in country, you could be making upwards in the 80s or 90s, okay, if not more. All right, because T-Mobile, they have contractors up the wazoo doing their stuff on the switch, okay, because they don't got to pay them anything. They just pay them a salary, but the salary is pretty high for contracting jobs. So if you want to start, if you're getting into IT and you're brand new, okay, you're brand spanking new, I don't care how old you are, okay, if you get your CCNA the right way, if you get by learning and practicing and doing all this stuff, if you get your CCNA and you get your Security Plus, if you combine those two certifications, Security Plus, you get that DoD letter, okay? If you combine those two and you take it and put it in your resume and you apply for contracting jobs, you will get hired. They will interview you over the phone, and been there, done that. They will interview you over the phone and they'll ask you technical questions. They're not going to ask you, did you like your mom? Stuff like that. These psychological, would you ever jump out of an airplane? All these different things. It's like, what has this got to, whatever. All right, but they interview you. They do a straightforward interview. Do you know this? What is this? How do you do this? What do you do that? Boom, 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 boom. And then you pass that, pass the background check, you're done. That's it. You get hired from these people and you won't have a job. I had a student who was overseas for 4 years. That kid, that's when I was teaching in the technical school. That kid was making 200 grand. He showed me his contract, 200 grand a year. Okay.
Wow.
Doing what he was doing in his contracting job. And he came to get the CCNA where I was at. He didn't have it yet, but he had his security. Okay. So he was already working. So contracting jobs are key for people who are starting out, because they will hire people who are they're looking for the technical guys. They're not looking for, is he likable? Or, none of the psychology. They're looking for the technical people that know what the heck they're doing, because they need to the job needs to get done. You got 3 months to do it. When I did that voice job, they're doing 400 phones a day.
Wow.
So the guy who got the project manager who got hired, it's a guy who, I don't know who he was from, but he had a Mac, he had a Windows, and he was just configuring back and forth. And the guys that were actually doing the cabling, whatever, were getting their certifications, but they were contractors. So they contracted them. They weren't certified yet. They were in the point of getting certified, but and that's the job that these guys need to look for, is contracting jobs. If they can't get hired to the regular lines, through DICE and all these different resume companies are out there, or these recruiters, they're looking for bachelors and, all this stuff. Is like, okay, that's the normal every day. I gotta wear a suit and tie. I gotta, be nice and all this. I gotta watch my step and all that. Contracting jobs, they need to know. Yeah, obviously they need to know you're not a jerk. All right, but that you know your stuff. That's what they want to know. Bottom dollar. Okay, that's what you need to know because that's what they ask me. Hey, what is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? This is this. Is this? And I've told people. There was a company in Miami called Modcom, and they asked me, well, we want to know CCNA stuff. I'm like, okay, this was back the old test. I think it was the 64802.
Yep.
Or the CCNA 120. I don't remember. Anyway, well, it was the old test. They said, well, we want to know about IP. I said, what was specifically? Because I don't want to teach you OSI model and bore you to death. What is it that you need to know? And I wanted to narrow it down. And he goes, I need to know about IP. I need to know about VLANs. I need to know about BGP. Okay, well, BGP is not in the CCNA. All right. Oh, and they need to know about VRRP, the redundancy protocol. And I said, BGP is not in the CCNA. BGP is the CCNP material. Do you want to know about that? That's fine. But that's not a CCNA. Oh, okay. Well, I need to know about that. I'm like, okay. So I made the course specifically for them. So when I went to their facility and I trained in their training center for their employees, I said, okay, this is this, this is this, this is that, this is how you do this is how you do that. And before you get BGP and share routing tables, you got to make this is process you got to go through. So I made it very, contracting jobs are technical. If you're a technical person and you're having issues getting a job through the regular lines, waiting for these people to call you back and interview, go for contracting jobs. Definitely, that's what they look for certifications, contracting jobs. And now, like you said, Python, yeah, get into Python. I'm going to get into Python. I want to take your course, Dave.
Good. I'll send you a voucher.
I'm going to take Python. Say again?
I'll send you a voucher.
Thank you. Because I'm going to take, because I need to learn that. Because I want to learn that because I want to make sure that I know that and I evolve with the networks. Okay. And I need to stay current because you as a CCIE need to take your certification every 5 years. You need to get recertified every 5 years. CCNPs get recertified every 3 years, I think.
The CCIE you need to do like a 2-year written exam.
Yeah, the written. Yeah, you do
every 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the hands-on again. You do the written, but still, every 5 years you got to renew your exam.
No, you don't. But I mean, I don't know if that's changed since when you. But no, you don't need to do that anymore.
No, you only do the written.
Yeah, only written every 2 years.
Yeah, you only do the written. But you still need to keep up. We still need to
keep up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I taught a class. I'm not going to say where. Okay, I'm not going to say where. I don't want to make them feel bad. I'm not going to say where. That they're still using 2008 server R2.
Oh wow.
And I said, listen, my wife, we had to actually, it was a contracting job. We actually had to buy the books. They didn't buy it. And my wife had to go to how many, I think it was like 2 different vendors to get the books for 2008 server R2. And I'm looking at this and they were using laptops. Okay. I'm like, okay. Some of them were 32-bit, not 64-bit. Okay. Hyper-V, that's an issue. So all these issues, I'm like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? There's still people out there that are way behind, okay, that they need to catch up. As instructors, professors, teachers, educators, people that want to share knowledge, whatever you want to call us, whatever you want to label us, okay, that's fine. I don't care. I'm Laz, okay? We need to keep up with technology.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? 2016, all right? They're coming out, I think, what is it, 2019 already? Or next year, they come up with a newer server or something? Because I don't keep up. I'll be honest, Microsoft, I think I put out a Microsoft course, and that's it. I'm not doing any more Microsoft. It was more of a pain in the butt than anything else. I'm going to stick to Cisco. Cisco, that's it. Routers is my life. I love my routers. Switching, CCNP, all that stuff, that's what I'm going to stick to. It's Cisco. I may do an application class. I may do something more, maybe for a company. I taught Excel for accounting for a company in Miami in Boca Raton, Florida, called Ulysses Nardine. They're a watch company. I taught them Excel for accounting. Okay, a couple things, pivot tables, filtering, things like that, nested formulas, stuff like that. Not major, but it's like 3 No, it was like for 7 Saturdays, just like 2 hours each Saturday. You know what I mean? I'll do stuff like that. But as far as what keeping track of and making sure that I know my stuff is in Cisco.
Yeah.
I'll always keep up with the server stuff and whatever because I do business with other people, and when I walk into their company, I've told them, I say, why are you running this? Why do you have a domain controller? You don't have two computers. Why So I question them not to make them feel bad, but to say, listen, the person that's doing your job is not doing it correctly. Okay, and they're taking your money. You don't need this. You don't need that. You need this. This is the reason. And I try to explain to them, not too techy, but I try to explain to them what's going on, and you really only need this because of ABC, XYZ, whatever the case may be. But yeah, contracting jobs are the way to go, man. Right now, if you're brand new into IT, or if you're not brand new, if you're just tired of working the same old IT admin job or help desk or whatever, look for contracting jobs, whether it be military contracts, whether it be private contracts, whatever they may be. But you need to get that. I can tell you right now, you need those certs.
That's great
advice. And CCNA, Security Plus, Voice, those are hot topics. And the beginning is Security Plus. I mean, just take that exam. It's not that difficult. Take it, and you're going to get a DoD letter, and that's just going to boost your resume up big time. And then once you get your CCNA, and now look what Cisco's doing. You take the CSET, you already have a certification, and they let you jump into the CCNA Wireless or CCNA Voice. You don't have to take the SCND2. All right, I don't recommend that. I recommend getting the full-blown CCNA. All right, but then get your Security Plus, and then if you want to move into Cisco, then you decide what branch you want to move into. But get your certs. Get your certs. See what you like, because what you like is what you're going to be good at.
Yeah.
And then go that route.
So, Laz, I want to thank you so much for spending so much of your time with me and sharing your knowledge and your wisdom and just your experience. It's a great inspiration. And from my point of view, I think you should really go and, follow that dream to be an inspirational speaker, because you're really good at that. So with that said, I want to thank you very much for spending your time with us.
Thank you.
And if anyone's got questions for Laz, how can they reach you, Laz?
Well, they can reach me at info@thenetworkingdoctors.com. Just send me an email there. That's the one we monitor the most. So they can reach me that way. Or heck, I'm on LinkedIn. You can I look at my LinkedIn on my phone every day. I wake up at 3 a.m. So you just send me a message through LinkedIn. That's another way. Or my YouTube channel, The Networking Doctors. You can go ahead and go to The Networking Doctors and go in there and put comments or what have you. I know I've been kind of bad answering people back right now. It's been pretty hectic, but I will get to you, and I will answer your question eventually. Yes, I will.
With that, I'm going to end the call. Thanks so much, Laz. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
Thanks so much.
Was awesome. It was good talking to you again.